We're getting into it. It's November.
Mhm.
Getting to the
Holiday season.
front end of cold and flu season.
Uh-oh. I'm not sure. I'm just getting a little nervous.
Well, don't be nervous.
Okay.
Well, I mean, unless you're prone to getting colds and flus.
No, but when I pee, it stinks a little bit. Same thing?
I know I mentioned this on one of the other episodes, but you really need to see a doctor, man.
I thought you were a doctor.
Nope. Sure not. No.
Then what's with the white trench coat?
That's to cover my clothes from whatever is going to come out of your body.
Most likely my mouth.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Most likely sunflower seeds. It's like being in the front row at a Gallagher show.
I have no idea what you mean.
Then why'd you laugh?
I'm just trying to make you feel at home, welcomed. And so back to the holidays in November. What do you got?
You know exactly what I mean, first of all.
Nope.
Nobody
does.
Listen,
There's a
I'm
reason
aware that nobody listening knows, but I know that you know what I'm talking
There's a
about.
reason we don't film this. So you don't see the shrapnel coming out of my mouth while I eat and snack while he talks.
No, I just meant the Gallagher part of the joke.
Oh. Do people even know who Gallagher is anymore?
No, that's my point, is that I knew that you knew that reference, but I would imagine that most people don't.
Man, it's too bad Gallagher's passed. I bet he'd love this podcast. Right?
Oh, no. Yeah, cold and flu season. Sometimes I get a little stuffy. I was feeling a little like that last week. And when I get stuffy, my giant ass nose tends to produce a lot of mucus, and I get this really weird overflow.
Waterfall?
Drip. Drip's the word I'm looking for.
Is it a drip?
Nasal drip.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, if you let that freeze up, you're going to scratch yourself on that. Be careful.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I learned that from Eddie Murphy in The Golden Child.
Everything you've ever needed to learn, you could learn from Eddie Murphy in The Golden Child.
Yep, pretty much. I want that knife. Okay. So what about your drippy nose?
No, nothing. I was just trying to come up with a terrible way to lead to the
dude,
word.
you got a thing. You got a bat in a cave, dude. Come on, handle that, dude. I can't podcast across from you with that drippy nose.
You know how you know I'm a Californian?
The drippy pants.
I'm always digging for gold.
Oh, God. So you're saying you got a drippy nose?
Yeah, no, I was just coming up with a stupid way to get to the word of the week.
And the word of the week is nose, right?
No, it's
November?
cold and flu season. No, it's drip.
Ooh. So I'm thinking this is going to go a lot of ways, drip.
It can. And I'm excited for everybody to find out all the different ways it can go.
I guess I'm excited. I feel like I'm going to need Kleenex for this episode.
You might cry a little bit.
Oh, that's why I'll need it?
What else were you going to... You know what? Let's just get to the episode.
All right. I'm Sloppy Dan.
You sure are, bud. You sure. Oh, and
Yeah.
I'm
Wet Nat Matthew.
gross. And I'm Matt, the drip.
That fits.
It'll make sense once we get to the definitions.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's hang out with your slang out. I think we'll say gross a lot in this episode, actually.
We're going to say gross a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
We're not wrong about that.
Okay, so the one thing I do know about you is you're a true blonde and
So you know nothing about me.
yeah, that you pick words for a reason. So why did you come at me with drip? Is that a hint that I got to blow my nose, wipe my nose or something?
Yeah, you got a little something.
No,
But
okay.
no, I very rarely, you know that Urban Dictionary is your playground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not mine.
It's the only playground that lets me in anymore.
But for some reason, like I'm scrolling through and I was like, we haven't gotten to drip yet. I feel like drip is something we should do. And it's confused me for a long time because I'm like, I swear I've used the term drip or heard the term drip used in a different way. And I have. And it was, I don't know if it was used in the 80s or if I saw it in a movie that was like talking about like the 60s. But it was used in the instance of referring to like a really dopey person or
Oh yeah.
or almost like the wet blanket of the crew or whatever, right?
Totally. Yeah.
And so it's funny because that had always stuck in my head and I had never gotten around to it, but I was like, now that I've heard the new definition, it doesn't make sense. And I can't understand why it doesn't make sense until I get there. Well, I finally got there today.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I got confused and I was like, well, shit, maybe that wasn't a definition of it and I'm crazy. And so that's when I got onto UD because everything else is like whatever the current definition is.
So the current definition is probably the way my son uses it because he uses it all the time.
He sure does.
And drip means good. Like it means he looks clean or it's his style, or I know he labels his diamond earrings as drip.
Sure.
Anything flashy is my drip. He's talked about his
they're both
t-shirts.
Conveniently ice and drip.
Yeah. We'll get to ice.
Which,
right?
Yes.
One
Which are two different states of matter for the same thing.
So you can get all scientific on us.
Yeah. Sure am.
So why would you go that way with drip? Because drip would either mean like kind of like how we grew up with it meaning like, oh, you're the loser of the bunch.
Right.
Or you're like, you're just bringing everybody down, to actual like drip, meaning like a drip of water, like the water's dripping, the sink's dripping, or your nose is running and you got to drip a snot because you're sick.
Sure.
How does that go to meaning like diamonds on your ears? Is it just because it's like it's dripping off of you? I'm dripping,
I guess,
money off of me. It's got to be a hip hop thing.
Well, okay, I'm going to tell you that apparently it originated in Jersey City in early 2014.
Wow, that far back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, when it said Jersey City, I was like, ooh, because all of a sudden I was like, oh, this has to be like a Jersey Shore term. Like Pauly D is going nuts.
So do we got to do our Jersey accents?
No.
Okay, good, because that's the one I haven't nailed yet.
Yeah, that's the one. To describe one's outfit or overall demeanor. Definition 1, flex hard or be so wet as to shed small drops of liquid. My Nike Air Force Ones won't stop dripping.
And I might have actually heard that half of that sentence come out of my son's mouth at one time. Because he talks about his shoes all the time being drip.
But then it gets into the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Next definition. That was actually the second definition, but the first one was short and boring. The first one was just very swag and cool. Third one, mucus-like fluid that runs down the back of one's throat after snorting drugs.
Oh, I have heard that.
Based on my experiences, often takes a few minutes to reach your mouth after snorting said drug. Tastes really bad if it enters your mouth. The drip I got from snorting a caffeine pill was nasty. That doesn't really sound like drugs, but whatever.
I hear that being used in they're talking about cocaine.
But wait, there's more.
Uh-oh.
Definition 4, a case of chlamydia or gonorrhea.
Wow, that just took a dark turn.
Yep. So drip can also be clap, apparently. That's fun.
Oh yeah, that's totally like, isn't that like totally 70s stuff? Didn't the boys come back from the wars with drip?
Maybe. Here's the thing. If that is that comfortable for you? If that is if that's a definition, I'm going to start telling people who think they have drip that they're clapping. Because that's funny. Drip, getting to our definition, is the next one. Boring, tiresome, and annoying person without any sense of humor. So, you.
Oh
my God. Elizabeth won't drink at the party. She's such a drip.
That sounds like 50 slang or something.
Yeah, it does.
So which one's right now? That's like 4 or 5 completely different.
And you know what's funny is it like keeps going in cycles. So like the next one is drip, term to use to describe the residue dripping down your throat after you snorted, say, for instance, an oxy.
Okay.
Next one, drip, the thing they put in your arm when you go to the hospital.
Holy moly. This is like
That's just page 1.
This is like the Swiss Army knife of slang words.
A statement or word used to describe an idiot or slow person.
I don't understand that one.
You say it when someone's got a runny nose.
Yes.
That's like definition 9.
What's definition 1 on this one? Is it the ice on the like looking fancy?
Make me go back.
Well, I thought you had a photograph.
Very swag and cool.
Okay, so more than likely that's leading the race right now for definition for drip after all these years.
Yes.
Okay.
An idiot's one of them. Someone who is basically, I can't say that word. Fresh hype new boss.
So like if I go like I feel like I need to get me some new drip.
The act of being moist and or wet. That's a whole different direction you can go in.
Yeah.
Depending on which you're talking about that.
I don't know if we should say moist too much into the microphones. Isn't that a no-no for podcasts?
Sticky, high quality marijuana.
Really?
That's page 3 of the definition.
You're in deep, dude. Deep, dude.
Hip new word for heroin.
No.
So, what did we learn? Drip has no meaning, or it has every meaning.
It has every meaning. It's like the multiverse of slang.
Yeah. I'm going to start calling pizza drip.
When I stub my toe, I'm going to be like, drip.
It's going to be my new cuss word. It's going to be my new compliment that I give to people.
I'm going to name my grandkid Drip. Drip Messersmith. Rolls off the tongue.
It sure does. Mm-hmm. And is apt for at least one or two of the definitions.
So no wonder you wanted this word.
I wanted this word so bad because I didn't realize how messed up. Well, not messed up. No, messed up's the right phrase. How messed up the expanse of definitions are.
Well, how would you use it? Like, what's comfortable way for you to use it now? If you're going to just use the word drip,
I think it would be that one where it's that boring person. I think that's the way that I grew up using it, and so it makes sense to me. Like a person having drip based on the newer, more used definition is just a person with swag. Drip seems weird to me. Because I need to understand, I guess, because even with the definitions, I need to understand more about it. Like why it is having, like, if they were to dial it back and give me a more proper definition, like having so much swag that excess swag is dripping off of you.
Yeah.
Now you've got me. Now I understand what you're trying to say. And that was in none of those definitions.
Which I think is what it gets used for, the way my son uses it. To me, when it's used in that context, it's one of those words that you, depending on your age, when it gets said, there's a fall off really quick of like, you get a little too old and you try to use that word, you look like a fool.
Right.
It's one of those words that really makes you old really quick. Like, so you can't be like 30 talking about drip. You got to be in like college or something. Otherwise you start to sound like you're a wannabe, a hanger on. So if someone like us using drip in that aspect,
there are so many different definitions that I'm also confused. I've been trying to think this entire time of the term that we used for that would have been equated to drip.
Recently it would have been swag, I thought.
I guess, but I mean, there has to be something further back than that.
Yeah, back than that, we wouldn't have said that. I would have just said.
I've heard people say you look pimp.
Pimp would probably be 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pimp was a big one.
That was a horribly misjudged slang term, though.
No, it's perfect. We should put pimp on here.
I mean, we might have to.
Yeah.
But then we get to talk about Exhibit.
Why?
Wasn't he the host of Pimp My Ride?
Oh, that's right. I thought you were talking about an actual exhibit. I'm like, which one? The one with Jesus in his cloak?
Yes, riding
his cloak.
Riding in the invisible plane.
Jesus, did he go to the Harry Potter school too?
Oh no, I just assumed he was friends with Wonder Woman.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, drip. I could only, and if I used it in the way you were talking, like where it makes sense, where I'm like, oh, that guy's a drip because he's like, the sad sack that's you don't want to hang out with. I even feel like that feels old school now. That feels like something like
I think
Grandpa would say.
I almost do think that drip as a term skipped our generation
because we used a different word. So
right,
like I think I would have used dip to explain a dork or a person who
or just loser or
loser. Yeah, you're such a drip. That sounds so 50s. That sounds like something the bad guys in Back to the Future would have yelled at. Stop being a drip.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm old, but I'm not that old.
No, but like I said, it was the only version of the word that I knew until recently.
Other than stop that drip on the drain because got a leaky faucet, right?
Sure. Yes.
So that's going to be my definition. It's what it actually is. the dripping of water.
Okay.
Or mucus.
I don't think that gets to be your definition.
It's my definition.
It's the dictionary definition of the word.
It's the driptionary.
Oh, Jesus.
That's pretty good, right?
You know what? I got mad at it initially. I'm gonna backtrack on my anger.
Okay.
The driptionary is interesting. And I think
Did you just use my word?
Yes, I did. And I think I want
You guys have no idea how proud I am right now.
yeah, well, you'll lose it in a second. And
Shit.
and I think you probably won't. I think what I want is for Jaden, if this doesn't already exist,
Mhm.
and we know how well I've managed It's Not a Tuna, but to start an Instagram called The Driptionary,
Okay.
and it's posts of people with immense amounts of drip all the time.
Why won't you start it?
Because I'm already not attending to It's Not a Tuna.
Well, quit being a drip and attend to it, man.
Oh, now you want to use the other term of drip?
Well, you're fitting it. It's not tuna so easy. All you gotta do is post any picture and say it's not a tuna.
Yeah, no, I know how easy.
Any picture.
I know how easy it should be. It just feels like a job.
To do one quick post?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
You spent more time looking up. You just went through 9 pages of drip, and a third of that energy could have just done a post.
No, but I learned something. See, the problem.
But you'd be teaching people that that's not a tuna.
Yeah, but you're looking at it as just saying this isn't a tuna. Like most people would look at a picture of a tiger and know that it's not a tuna.
Not if you post Tiger Woods.
No, but the problem, yes, they would still know that it's not a tuna. The point I'm making is, you know that I can't do any. Twitter was my nightmare for a while because I can't explain anything in 140 characters or less.
Okay, there's totally truth to that.
Right. And so where you look and you say, oh, just post something that say it's not a tuna. This is a tiger. It's not a tuna. And that's funny to you. I can't do that.
Why can't you do
I
that?
have to go into, this is a Bengal tiger. They roam the African
You need to find the little
wastelands, blah, 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 blah. And actually teach somebody something about the thing that is in the picture and then say, but it's not a tuna.
Do you really think people are learning?
No, but it's for me. I want to feel like they might learn something.
Just put a picture of
that
Tony the
Instagram's
Tiger
not
up.
for them. It's for me.
Just put a picture of Tony the Tiger up there and say it's not a tuna. Hey, Dan, this isn't a tuna. And it's a picture of Tony the Tiger. And the 13 people who listen to this episode will be like, that's funny. You did
Be
it.
like, Dan totally would think that was a tuna because he's dumb.
No, all my fans they're international.
Oh,
Yeah, they'd be like, there's another shrimp on the bobby. That Dan is fun. Right?
I don't think that's.
No, I got there. I'll rewind that back and make sure I got there.
Yeah, might have to re-edit a lot.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
If I've ever been told that I'm basically Michael J. Crocodile Dundee.
Michael J. Crocodile Dundee.
Wasn't that his name?
What?
From Crocodile Dundee, the movie. It's not a knife, it's a knife.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's Michael J. Crocodile Dundee.
What's it?
Look it up.
I've never seen the Crocodile Dundee movies.
They're actually pretty. I'm surprised because they're pretty funny.
That's why I haven't seen them.
But you like funny movies.
Do I?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That first movie was huge. Second one wasn't bad either.
Paul Hogan played
Michael J.
Mick.
Yeah, Michael.
No, just Mick.
When he introduces himself in the movie, I think he says Michael J.
Maybe.
Mm.
So if you had to pick some people with drip.
Good drip or bad drip?
Good.
Good drip.
Like the main definition that we hate so much.
Yeah, shoot. I'm trying to think of anybody I follow that would be David Beckham.
Sure. He's got
That's
drip.
a stylish son of a bitch right there. And always has been.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched his thing on Netflix, his documentary, and to see him through the years, I was like, God damn it, was that guy ever ugly? Jesus Christ, man.
No, he was not. Brad Pitt.
Yeah, but Brad Pitt's had his like dirty hippie age where he like didn't shower.
All right. George Clooney.
Okay, you got me. Clooney now, or Clooney once he got big now, because he was Mr. T-shirt and jeans guy and sleeveless stuff back in the early 80s when he was like on Facts of Life or whatever that show
Yeah,
was.
but he was still handsome as shit.
Oh, handsome, yeah. Tall hell, but
yeah, I guess he wasn't very drippy then. God, I even used the...
But I think that would fit any footballer, past or now. That's just part of their shtick, is they're completely... Or what's his name from Kansas City that's dating Taylor Swift right now?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he seems to dress like a total drip.
He's like a drip or like he has drip?
I hate the style. I know it's the current style. I just think he looks like a fool in half of his suits, but...
He used to dress in some really funky shit. I don't think that I don't think his little lady anymore will let him dress nearly as ridiculously as he normally would.
Don't you dare get the Swifties on us.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not getting the Swifties on you.
Taylor Swift is a goddamn goddess. Don't you dare get the Swifties on us.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that, like, she would have been like, well, okay, I know you were having some fun, but let's dial it in.
The grown-ups are here now.
Yeah, let's dial it in.
Okay.
You're going to be on my arm. You're not going to be wearing a suit that looks like it was made out of the San Diego chicken, all right?
I hadn't seen the San Diego chicken in a long time. That's a good one. I like
Thanks.
that. Good stuff.
And not entirely inaccurate. I'm pretty sure there was a suit that looked eerily like he was wearing.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think that's why you laughed.
Yeah. Could see it. So, so those would be my picks.
Who else has got drip? I mean, if we're talking about NFL players, Debo, when he gets dressed up for a day, has drip.
Okay. I'll have to trust you because I don't know that.
What's fun is, I'm a hockey fan, and the Sharks, their Instagram account routinely will show them as they're like coming into the arena, and they're always wearing like sport coats and stuff like that when they're coming into the arena. And the hashtag, I think, for it is Sharkly Dressed Man.
No, that's kind of clever.
It's kind of funny, but some of those guys have some drip. Like, they can get after it. Actually, a guy that used to play for them, Brent Burns, he was one of those guys that had plenty of drip and always was like right on that bleeding edge of, have I gone too far? Am I past drip now?
So we got to go
Did I
female.
drop?
We got to go female too, right?
Sure.
So I'll give Taylor's other half. We'll say Selena. She always seems like she's pretty clean, right?
Yeah.
And and my daughter is a huge Selena fan, and she loves her makeup, the Rare brand, and talks about how classy it is. And so I'm going to trust all that because I don't wear any of that stuff. So
sure. Mrs. Ryan Reynolds always looks like she's well put together.
Blake Lively.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm scared to say her name. I'd hate for anything to happen to her.
That's why I avoided it.
Podcast.
Well, I guess by saying his name more, I'm just putting him more in.
I think Ryan Reynolds' name is in at least a third or 45% of our episodes, and
it's probably not wrong.
He's still going. I think we're good. My French bulldog Guillermo. Have you seen his Instagram page? It's not a tuna.
You're right. It's not a tuna.
Yeah. You should just post a picture of us from our Hoso thing, and be like, hey, it's not a tuna. It's cross promotion right there, buddy. No off on the Genius Switch.
It never got turned on, but somehow also doesn't turn on.
It's always on, dude. It's like Motel 6, lights always on.
It's exactly like Motel 6.
Motel 6 advertising.
We'll leave the light on.
You know why? Because that's like the fanciest motel in Kingman for 40 goddamn years. So
I will tell you that is in no way surprising.
I'll tell you, I got kicked out of one of those when I was in high school.
Wow. What's the downgrade from that? The Super 8, Easy 8?
No, it's still the same thing. It's the Motel 6.
Yeah. No, we went to a hotel in Kingman that was nicer than a Motel 6.
Actually, they do have a couple of nice ones now.
Yeah. I don't remember what one it was. It's probably like
I think there's a nice Spring Hill one, and
that might have been where we went. Whatever it was right off the freeway there.
Yeah. All right, so we named some drippy people.
Yeah. So,
well, I'm glad you brought the word out.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we named those people, and now we can stop using that term for that meaning ever again.
And we named enough people that at least one of them is going to drop dead, because our average is pretty good.
Yeah.
So place your bets, people. See what we got.
Who's it gonna be?
I don't know if I want any of those people to drop dead. Maybe we should name some people I want to drop dead. No, we don't want to end the podcast like that.
No, that's terrible.
Canceled.
But Deion Sanders is very drippy.
Don't even get me started. Ew, there's a can of worms. All right. You good with drip?
You know what they say? Grip it and drip it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say pass the Kleenex, but to each his own.
On the left-hand side. Pass the Kleenex on the left-hand side.
The man is a DJ and he just doesn't know it.
Neither does anybody else listening to this podcast currently.
We're going to change that. Thank you for listening. Don't be a drip. And check us out on all our socials. Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call that thing. The Twixter. There we go.
You know what's funny about Twitter now being called X? It's now also conveniently X Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's formerly Twitter.
He's such a genius. He's got all kinds of drip. Drip, drip, drip. Elon Musk. Drip, drip, drip.
Fake people with drip. Bruce Wayne. He's got drip.
Marge Simpson.
She doesn't have drip. She had drip in one episode.
But it was drip, though. I was sick.
Sure. It was funny. I was watching. So it's the 20th of November as we're recording this. So 2 days from today will be the 60th anniversary of the JFK assassination. So there's been a whole bunch of like shows about JFK on the streaming services recently. And that day that he got assassinated, Jackie was wearing a pink Chanel suit, for which March's pink Chanel suit was designed after for The Simpsons. And it made me real sad.
Yeah, you just took this podcast to a dark place, dude.
Interesting stuff, though. You should really watch it.
A little sad.
The one on...
Feeling a little drippy now.
The one on Disney, because they own National Geographic or something now. Yeah. It's a multi-part series. It's pretty interesting.
Not really upbeat or peppy or anything, but
No.
What,
one of these surviving people still left that has connection to it is the guy that drove Lee Harvey Oswald to work that day. Like they both worked in the book depository.
So he's a drip.
I mean, he is kind of a drip. But it's like,
that checks.
What is it? We're 60 years later. What can it possibly be like to feel like that guy? You were the guy that got the guy to the place.
Do you think maybe
where he murdered a president of the United States?
He's still proud of that?
No, like you can tell like when they're interviewing him, just the strain on him and the strain on Jackie's Secret Service agent.
Oh, I can't imagine that.
Which is funny because JFK's Secret Service agent is as guilty as I think he feels. I feel like Jackie's feels more guilty.
I could see that. But have you seen that guy's MySpace profile? He's doing all right.
I wanted not to laugh because it was so stupid.
Stupid good.
Stupid like a fox.
Yeah, stupid says. All right, good word, I guess.
Good enough. It's nice because it was both like current and sort of a flashback.
I feel like I might need to wipe my nose though. So it's probably a good time to end the episode on drips.
Probably all that oxy.
That's a good drip, right?
Yeah.
You can also email us at hangoutslangout@gmail.com.
At Gmail.
And heck, maybe we'll talk about your email if you send us one. Good or bad.
There's only one way to find out, but it requires you doing two things. You have to write to us and you have to continue listening.
And you got to click send.
Well, okay, there's three things, but I figured that writing to us included the sending part.
Well, you need to be thorough. Can't end this episode unless we're thorough. Right?
Sure, I guess. I mean, we could have. We haven't ended any other episode thoroughly.
Well, let's thoroughly end that right now. This is Hangout.
With your slang out.
And I still need that Kleenex. Where's that thing at?
Kleenex. That's funny, huh? No, I mean, like, it's one of those things that's ubiquitous with what it is. Like you wouldn't, any other tissue, any other facial tissue, you would still call Kleenex.
So they've cornered the market.
Yeah.
All right. I think we cornered the market on this podcast thing.
Sure. But I mean, I don't think everybody will start calling every other podcast Hang Out with Your Slang Out.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. Please do that.
No, it wouldn't, because then nobody would listen to this one. And there's already enough nobody listening to this one.
All right. I'm Dan.
I'm Matt.
And I'm out.
Time to get my drip somewhere else.
You can get a shot for that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is there a doctor in the house?
No. You got Pepsi and Coke. You didn't even get Dr. Pepper.
Gross.
What?
Don't you California my drip, 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 drip. Come on.
If you say "Don't you California my" one more time, followed by anything.
Don't you Louisiana my California.
What?
It's Louisiana. It's just,
yeah, I know what you're looking at.
You know what Louisiana is, right?
It's a state.
It's a chicken place. Louisiana Kitchen.
This place is called Popeyes.
Do they even have spinach there?
In Louisiana?
At Popeyes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? That's a legitimate question.
Is it?
Yeah, if you named your place Mickey Mouse, they'd be like, they serve cheese there?
When did Mickey Mouse ever eat cheese?
That is racist.
First of all, it's not racist. Second of all,
hey, you painted me into a racist corner. I had nowhere to go. So all I do is lunge out.